At the beginning of every story, we meet the hero, but this one has no name. He left it behind him. The nameless hero focused on the final part of his training. The land was peaceful now, and the nameless hero has left the sword behind him. The hero's deer, Aiko, painted the spring of life, a vibrant sight of plants and fish jumping around. It was always a well of inspiration for her.
Our sun is dying, and soon... I need to find out where the seed is located. Grandpa must have left me this book to help me understand Lumia better. I've never seen it before. Seems like it has detailed information about the seed and Lumium plants. I remember Oren telling me how the plants are able to absorb Lumium from the ground and store it. I wish I had more time to read it. I often saw Grandpa use this strange object to maintain the alien technology around the house. I'll take it with me, just in case. Oh, and there's the key. Okay, I'm ready to leave the house now.
Chapter 1. Attack! Counter!
Alphalink troops, listen up. Intel has sent coordinates of another shard and it's our job to retrieve it. You need to get down there and gain control for your faction. It's already swarming with transport ships and hostiles. We're dropping you right in the hot zone. Make it count, soldier. Over and out.
Hello and welcome to Ready Set Indie Games. I am Ready Set and I hope you all are having a fantastic evening this evening. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. I am Ready Set and on my channel I predominantly stream indie games. So 98% of the time you will see indie games on my channel. Now currently I stream Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and Thursday and Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Depending on how, for those of you that are following my Twitter, you know I just had a job interview today and I got pushed through to the second interview. So depending on how tomorrow's interview goes, there is a chance that I may have to change my streaming schedule again. And welcome, Fire Don't Talk. Hope you're having a fantastic evening today. Or this evening. Still a little sleepy. But we do have 5 games on the card for this evening. 2 which are on Xbox One, and then the other 3 are going to be on PC. Ideally, I would like to try to get done with stream no later than about 12:45-ish, depends on what's happening or how I get caught up into the games. At the latest, it'll probably be 1 a.m., but hopefully we can get done kind of early. But we do have 5 games on the card tonight. The first one is a preview for a game called Alphalink, which is actually going to be coming out September the 30th. So this comes out next week, and we're going to be doing a preview. Now, for my previews, the game will only get 15 minutes because, again, it's a preview. Then we will be moving on to Omen of Sorrow, which is a fighting game that just released to the Xbox this week. It was already on PlayStation 4, it just released to Xbox One, and it will be coming to PC soon. Then we're gonna switch over to PC, and we're gonna play Honey, I Joined a Cult. And after that, we're going to play Seed of Life. And our last game will be Inked, A Tale of Love. So that is going to be what's on the card for tonight. And before we do get started, there is tonight's discussion question. If you could own one arcade machine, what would it be? Feel free to answer that in the chat here. Dan and I have already answered. For me, I said it would probably be the Simpsons arcade because I had a lot of fun with that growing up as a child. Playing it and, and this might be me telling my age, but here we used to have kind of like a kid's, kind of like Chuck E. Cheese, but it was called Major's Magic, or it might be Major Magic, because I'm from Michigan, so we had an S to everything, and and I used to play it a lot as a kid there, so that is something that something that I would love. Like, I was excited back in the day when PlayStation added it to like their store, and I picked it up. I think it on PS3 because I don't think you can get it again. I think they might have removed it, but that was how I ended up picking it up on PS3. And it really took me back. It did. But that would be my choice. It would either be that or the actual like tabletop Miss Pac-Man arcade machine would be the other one. But let's go ahead. Let's get started with this stream so that we can do what we have to do. And yeah, of course, as always, if you find any of the games interesting tonight, you can always use at any time during the stream, !GOTW, or simply click on the link here, and that will give you a Google Doc of all of the games that I am playing tonight and the games I have played and will be playing for this week. The price of the games, if there are a price, the platforms, and the links to get to the platforms of your choice. So all of that's there. All of that is there in the Google Doc, and thank you for that. Hydrate. I actually do have a drink here. I had just taken my medicine, and I don't know why, but it always feels like the pill gets lodged in my throat, so it agitates my throat. And I have no idea why that happens, but I do have a drink on the side for myself to drink. But let's go ahead and let's start jumping into our stream for tonight. Again, we're going to be starting off with Alpha. And so our first game of the evening is Alphalink. And again, Alphalink is a preview, so before I go any further, I just want to take the time to say that the following live stream footage of Kova Alphalink is actually a preview of the game. Therefore, it is important to know that the footage you see may or may not be featured in the final version of the game, and that there may be some noticeable bugs in the game. I'd also like to take this time to thank the publisher and developer of Kova Alphalink for providing me with a free copy of the game to play on tonight's stream. Kova Alphalink will be available on Xbox One, and you can actually pre-order this for $14.99 USD up until September the 29th, because the game does release, I believe it's either the 29th or the 30th that the game releases, but you can pre-order it so that when the game does release, you're ready to go. So let's go ahead, and again, we're gonna play this, like I said, roughly for about 15 minutes. And so, because it's a preview and I don't want to go too far into it, so we're gonna play it for 15 minutes. And I did run the tutorial already, so we're gonna jump right into because there was some issues when I ran the tutorial for some odd reason. It wouldn't let me move my my player, so we're gonna go into the actual game because I do know how to play it to avoid running into the glitch with the tutorial.
Ready. Spread shot.
Okay, so that happened. I don't even think I got a chance to hit anything. That happened. Okay.
Spread shot. Shield.
Oh, God.
Spread shot.
So wait, am I not like hitting the creatures? I guess is the question.
Ready.
Or do they have a shield as well that I didn't know about?
Spread shot.
I think I hit one that time at least. Jeez.
Ready. Spread shot. Shield.
Oh, come on now.
Spread shot.
And then it's like, I swear I'm hitting them, but it's not really counting them. Like, it makes it a little rough. I don't know if I really like the idea of having to, like,
Spread shot.
I don't know if I really like the idea of having to, like, use the, I was gonna say, I don't know if I really like the idea of having to, like, angle your shot
Ready.
in order to, shoot.
Spread
I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of that.
Spread shot.
Like, because you see, it's a little clunky for me. And hello, Alexis. Welcome to the stream. Game is going pretty interesting. This is a preview of Kova Alphalink for Xbox One. And the graphics do look nice. It's just, I think what's getting to me is the shooting. Because of the fact that you have to aim. Okay, maybe not grab that yet. See, it's like he getting shot. And that's driving me nuts. We got another hydrate there, so let me go ahead and hydrate. But yeah, it's driving me nuts. I'm like, because it feels like it doesn't, I guess, doesn't move smoothly when you try to aim. So it feels a little rough. Is my issue. But we got somewhere that time, though. I'll take it. We got somewhere that time. But it's a little odd with the aiming to shoot. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't mind having to aim to shoot, but I think for me, and then I got shot again. Like, I don't mind having to aim, but it just feels like stiff, in my opinion. It's a little stiff. So now I have no shield. So that's my only issue with it so far, is that aiming to shoot, it feels a little stiff.
Spread shot. Spread shot.
That didn't work in our favor at all. That didn't work in our favor.
Spread shot. Spread shot.
And you only get 3 shots. That's something I should mention too. You only get 3 shots, and then you have to wait for it to like charge. And it's weird because like the enemies get to shoot through. But you don't get to shoot through. So it's a little odd. See? And that's a little odd for me, because they can shoot through things, but you can't. Which is a little strange.
Spread shot. Spread shot.
I really just stood there and took it too. We'll give this probably another go, and then we'll switch to our next game. Because again, this is a preview. Are you kidding me? No. I know I can at least get past this part. So, but yeah, like, the aiming for me is what kind of drives me a little off. Another hydrate? You guys are gonna kill me with all this hydrating. And I go use the restroom. I'm not as young as I used to be. Yeah, so I just did that by accident.
Spread shot. Spread shot.
Oh, I got caught. It is, indeed. It is always good to have something to hydrate with. But we're gonna stop the gameplay for this there. Cause like I said, for me, it is legit. It's a little strange because, like I said, the enemies can shoot through the platforms, but you can't shoot through the platforms, which is weird. and the aiming is a little off for me. But again, this was only a preview of the game, so let me again state that the following live stream footage of Kova Alphalink is a preview of the game. Therefore, it is important to note that the footage you have just seen may or may not be featured in the final version of the game, and there may be some noticeable bugs in the game. So it's very well that that could be a bug in the game, because I'm like, it's a little... Have I played any farm or sandbox game demos recently? Give me a second because I have to think on that one if I have or not, and then I can tell you for sure. But this is Alphalink. It is going to be available on Xbox One. You can pre-order this up until September the 29th for $14.99, and if you do pre-order it, you know, you'll be ready to go when it launches. Again, a very big thank you to the publisher and developer for providing me with a free copy of the game to play on to mainstream.
Welcome to the Beat Grinder Transit Station and Bar. All new recruits and Alphalink troops must...
Alrighty. So I'm gonna switch over to the next game. And have I played any demos of any farm or sandbox game recently? Trying to think. I think I have. Trying to think of what the last, because I didn't do per se a free-to-play demo for or free-to-play Friday last week. I ended up having to do coverage games, but I ended up recording free-to-play. And I'm trying to remember exactly what the games were. And thank you for the biddies there, Alexis. I appreciate that. I do have one that I am going to be covering, not tomorrow, but I'm covering it for the indie game recap, and that's the gas station simulator game that everyone's been talking about. That one I will be playing, to do it for indie game recap, which is the vidcast that I do now. But as far as farming and simulation demos go, can't think of any off the top of my head. Like off the top of my head, I can't think of any right off the top of my head that I have done. The closest I would say, and it's not like a demo for it, but the closest I would say to maybe farming or sandbox would be, and I'm going to be playing that tonight, and that would be Honey, I Joined a Cult. That would probably be the closest that I have done as far as maybe like a farm or a sandbox type game would be Honey, I Joined a Cult. I think that might be like the last one that I have done. Or will be doing here in a moment, because I've been playing that one offline and I enjoy it. So I was trying to get familiar with it. So I'm looking to see. Yeah, I think that might be like one of the last ones I have done. Another sim one that I have played is Aquarius, but that one, it had some roughness around the edge. Oh, another one that is free to play. I didn't get to catch all of the Nintendo Direct, but I did catch some of the highlights from like when I was on Twitter. I pretty much found some of the things on there, and some of the stuff was interesting. Like I was interested in the new Kirby game that's coming out, because I love Kirby, you know. And then Deltarune, as far as indie games go, I just found out that Deltarune Chapter 2 is now on the Nintendo Switch. So I put in my indie game recap for this week that it was on PC and Mac, because at the time it was. But if you do have it on the Nintendo Switch, you can update it now and get Chapter 2 on the Switch. So, but the other farm sim type game that I've played this month, and it is a free-to-play game, and it's called Digi-Me. And that's probably one of the last ones I've played. And then I think Monster Harvest has a demo, so you can play Monster Harvest, which is a farming game as well. Yeah, those would probably be the ones that have demos that are farming sims as well. Let me go ahead and switch over to the next game title over here and go from there. Yeah, I heard that Animal Crossing is getting a new expansion pack, and it's so funny because not too long ago I turned on Animal Crossing and was playing it for a bit, and I was like, you know, now it's really weird because I got really into Animal Crossing last year, but I think I got into it more so during the fall as opposed to during when it first came out. I bought it when it first came out, but I didn't start really playing it until the fall and winter. Is when I started playing, and then I started playing in the spring. I even bought the little amiibo cards for it. Lost interest for a bit, and then started playing again. But I did see that there is going to be a new expansion pack for Animal Crossing, which I thought was interesting too. Let me go ahead and change the name of the game, because see if it has a category on Twitch, and it does. That's gonna be Omen of Sorrow. But yeah, I saw there's a new expansion pack coming for Animal Crossing, so that might actually be a reason for me to go back and revisit Animal Crossing, even though I still owe Tom Nook a whole lot of money. But I do like Animal Crossing a lot. It is relaxing. And it is one of those games where you can get lost in, especially because I like to farm for things such as I know, because ironically, Animal Crossing New Horizons is the first, the crippling debt. This was the first Animal Crossing that I've ever played. Had it on the GameCube, but could not get into it because at the time, you know, when I was younger, I was the type of person that if my games didn't move fast-paced, I was not into them. So my sister played and she enjoyed it, and she ended up playing the one, I think, on the DS. I want to say there was one on the DS, I think, that she played too. And I think she actually owns this one, but she hasn't been really playing video games much. And for myself, I picked this one up, you know, during the pandemic, because, you know, everybody was talking about it. And I was like, okay, well, I'll pick it up and give it a go. And I ended up picking it up and actually falling in love with it. Yeah, because City Folk, I think, was on the Wii. And that was the one that gave you... Was City Folk the one on the Wii where it gave you the microphone where you could talk to them? And stuff like that. I want to say that was the one for the Wii. But, and then I think New Leaf was the next one that they did on the DS. Because I know they had one, it was, and the reason I remember City Folk, I just can't remember the console, but I remember City Folk because a lot of people didn't like it for that reason. For the reason of you had to use the microphone to talk to other people. And a lot of people, I don't think, liked that one. You know, so it's odd. So, total love Mario Kart. Yeah, I actually like the newer Mario Karts. My son's obsessed with Mario Kart. Like that's his jam. He loves Mario Kart, and I will play Mario Kart with him. You know, every so often. But all right, let us go ahead and get back into our coverage for tonight. Because our next game is Omen of Sorrow. So let's go ahead and start this up. Actually, I'm going to start up the game before, mainly because it has me to log in. And so I don't want that to be in the clip. So we're gonna start it up. So I will do this so you can see that, at least. And then once this disappears, I will turn it off because I have to like log in, and don't want that to be shown. So yeah, we're gonna do it like that, and then I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna log in, and then switch it back over to the game. And we'll play like a couple of matches. Because this is a fighting game. And I will do that in there as well. Because I forgot this does have flashing images. Or flashing and... Okay. Now I will switch back over to the game because I'm logged in now. But our next game on the card is Almond of Sorrow. And Almonds of Sorrow has recently released to Xbox One, but it is on PlayStation 4 as well. And it is going for $19.99 USD. If you pick it up on Xbox, it is on sale up until the 29th of September for $15.99 USD. And this will soon be coming to PC through Steam and I believe Epic Games. But it is going to be coming to PC soon as well. Now, a couple of things before we start the gameplay. I do want to take the time to thank the publishers and developers of Almond of Sorrow for providing me with a free copy of the game to play on tonight's stream. And Cool Cat Terry with that raid. Welcome on in, Cool Cat Terry. Hope you all are having a fantastic evening. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. I am Ready Set, and on my channel I predominantly cover indie games, so 98% of the time you will see indie games on my channel. And I typically stream Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Thursday and Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But welcome on in, Cool Cat Terry and community. If I could get a shout out for Cool Cat Terry, that would be great, so I can see what she was up to and what she was playing. And while that is happening, I also want to take the time to mention that the following game, Omen of Sorrow, uses flashing lights and or images that can be an issue for those who have photosensitivity issues, even if you've never had them before. So viewers' discretion is advised. Yep, this one is on also Grunto. This one has just released to Xbox One, and it will be coming to Steam soon, but this one just came out to Xbox One this week because it's on sale for $15.99. So, and oh, Psychonauts 2. How is Psychonauts? I'm not sure if they added crossplay yet. That one I'm not sure if they've added crossplay or not. Let's go ahead. We're gonna do a battle. But yeah, it is coming out too. I can imagine that if it's on Epic, it's probably gonna end up with crossplay now.
Elizabeth Bathory.
Okay, like Elizabeth. Okay, so you like the first one more, but you're still early in the game. Okay. Yeah, I usually just play the storyline, story mode too. Because we're going to be doing a couple of matches here, and then I have to move on to my next game. But, yeah, because I know Psychonauts 2 is on Game Pass, and I played the first one when I was younger.
Chapter 1. Attack! Counter! 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 Down.
Nice. Okay.
Chapter 2.
Attack! Because you're still doing your Fright Nights streams too, aren't you, Terry? Because I know you usually do that every year too.
Counter! 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 Now the balance favors you. Counter! Fallen!
Yay, I did it! With a booty bump. Oh, okay, you're playing Dead Space this year. Okay. Because I remember you played the game, I think it was like, was it Wick or Wicked with the candles and the creepy kids? And I was like, yeah, that was one of those streams I think I lurked in. Because I was like, no, I'm not trying to have a heart attack. But that was one of the games, I think you did that like a year or two ago. Because I thought that game came out with like DLC. Okay, here's our next opponent. Yeah, Dead Space is actually really good though. Like a lot of people was like, it's scary, but I actually like Dead Space. Like, I don't know why people consider it a horror, because it doesn't feel like horror to me. Caleb.
Chapter 1.
Attack! Okay. Oh, okay. I see you. Oh, he gonna stop doing this. Okay, maybe he won't. Okay, I see.
Counter! Counter!
Okay, Caleb, I see you. Oh, no, 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 no.
Counter!
Nice. Can't even get mad at him.
Counter! Counter!
Got him.
Down!
Got him.
Chapter 2.
Okay.
Attack! Counter!
Because I'm like, I know the Dead Space series is really big for a lot of people. Oh, okay. Did not like that.
Lust!
Oh, he blocks very well. Oh, I need to come out of this corner. Don't let him keep you in the corner. We might not win this round. Definitely a really, like, I'm not really into fight games a lot. Okay, so you're doing it like all 3 games is what you're going to be doing. Oh, okay. There we go.
Counter.
Oh, I gotta... He blocks a heck of a lot.
Counter. 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 Counter.
Oh, okay.
Counter. Fallen.
Oh, I actually beat him. I didn't think I was gonna beat him. He was kind of tough. I was not expecting to beat him. Okay, so you're just playing 1 and 2 because you played 3 years ago. Okay. That makes sense. I think this is Adam.
Chapter 1. Attack!
Okay, now before I start this fight, I'm going to let you know for sure with Adam, because I fought him in my indie game moment for this, that again, the following game, Almond of Sorrow, uses flashing lights and images that can be an issue for those who have photosensitivity issues, even if you've never had them before, so viewers' discretion is advised. He does like a lightning attack, which it flashes a lot, so just wanted to again put that out there for you all, for those that have photosensitivity issues, because I am a firm believer of your health is more important to me than a view. So you may not want to watch during this fight if you have photosensitivity issues. Alright, let's go ahead and start this fight. Hurry up. I like how she just sat down. Like, why would you do this?
Counter. Counter.
Oh, he is going to kill us.
Counter.
If I don't really...
Counter. Down.
Nailed it. So we will probably stop the game after this because I actually do have photosensitivity issues. And this is a little much for me, so...
Another balance favors you. Counter. Counter. Counter.
Okay, his little electricity thing kind of looks like sparklers. But yeah, this is actually
Counter.
doing a lot on me.
Counter.
You're right, I am too close.
Plus. Counter. Fallen.
Got him. But yeah, that kind of did a lot to me as well. And the game does tell you that it has photosensitivity issues. And then you can speed it up by hitting A. Okay, the succubus.
Chapter 1. Attack! You'll pay for that. Counter. Counter.
She reminds me a little bit of Kim. The succubus does.
Counter.
But the spinning drill kick. Like, I don't know why, but I keep seeing Kim. I'm like, spinning drill kick?
Chapter 2. Attack! Counter.
Nice. I mean, I can't even be mad at that. Got her. Kind of with a cheap move, but I still got her. I just feel like I'm going so good at this, and I know I probably should stop, but this, I think, is Quasimodo. I think this is Quasimodo. So we'll try this next move, this next fight, and then we will end this particular game there. I like how he looked like a hunter though.
Chapter 1. Attack!
Okay. Okay. Nice.
Chapter 2. Counter. Counter. Another balanced plate calls.
Dang it.
Counter.
Got him. Like,
Doom.
he's the first one I seen do that.
Fallen.
Like, that's the first one I've seen do that. Alright, I did say that was going to be the last batch for this. But again, that is Omen of Sorrow, and it is available on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One for $19.99 USD. Of course, you can pick this up on the Xbox One for $15.99 USD up until September the 29th. It is also, I believe, available on Epic Games and can be picked up or will be available on Steam sometime soon. Now, of course, if you enjoyed what you saw of the gameplay, feel free to use !GOTW or simply click on the link there, and that will take you to a link of all of the games that I have played this week and will be playing this week. The prices for the games, the platforms the games are available on, and again, gives you the links to get to the platform of your choice. Again, I do want to take this time to thank the developer as well as the publisher of Almond of Sorrow for providing me with a free copy of the game to play on tonight's stream. Alrighty, so that is going to, well, that is the end of our Xbox coverage. But we do have 3 games that we have to cover on PC. I think at this point what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about a 10-minute break here, do like a 10-minute intermission. Because I do have to use the restroom. So at this time, if you too need to go maybe get something to drink or go to the restroom, or you got to check on the dog, you know, make sure the cat's not getting into anything, now would be the perfect time to do so. When I come back, we're going to be taking a look at our PC games, which is Honey, I Joined a Cult, Seed of Life, and Ain't a Tale of Love. So again, if you're not going to be leaving the stream for a moment, feel free to enjoy these indie game moments. Who knows? Maybe you will find your new favorite indie game. But I will be back in about 10 minutes. So enjoy your break.
take it down if it gets in your way, but those nuggets are priority number one. Freaky Void Eye's coming in. Get ready.
That's some thick-ass off.
Yikes, that monster looks pretty fierce. Maybe you don't fight it one-on-one. Shoot the eyeballs, nuggets pop out. Why? Why? You ask too many questions.
This valley was full of life, but to Glitch, something felt, well, amiss. Stuffy must once have lived in a valley just like this. But without others of its kind? Surely not. They must have traveled to someplace new. Maybe leaving Stuffy behind. Oh, what a thing to do.
Hey, you new? Are you going to pour snot or kick ass to the iron idiots who decided to play with Monopoly? Get your ass up and follow to the layer of those cans. It's time to crush them and make money. Oh, you bastard! Have you decided to shoot me? don't get lost. Follow the pointer arrow and everything will be okay. Buddy, congrats to you. You've become richer. Buddy, congrats to you. You've become richer. Look, don't get lost. Follow the pointer arrow and everything will be okay. Buddy, congrats to you. You've become richer.
Hello and welcome back to Ready Set Indie Games. I am Ready Set and I hope you all are having a fantastic evening. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. I am Ready Set and on my channel I predominantly cover indie games. So 98% of the time you will see indie games on my channel. And I typically stream Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and Thursday and Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, if you're someone that's into indie games or you're looking into trying indie games, then you have come to the right place. We just finished playing Alphalink as well as Omen of Sorrow on the Xbox One. Now we are going to move into our PC portion of the stream, and we're going to be starting that off with Honey, I Joined a Cult. Which, when I first saw the title for this game, I was like, wait, what? Like, they're actually doing this? And yes, that is the actual legit name of the game. So let's go ahead and bring up Honey, I Joined a Cult. with the hope that there is no issues, because it looks like it's not loading all of a sudden. Okay, I was gonna say, I didn't have issues earlier, you know, when I did the indie game moment for this, so. Love the music in this. And so our next game on the card is Honey, I Joined a Cult. And Honey, I Joined a Cult is available on PC through Steam, Humble Bundle, and Fanatical. It is going for $19.99 USD. However, I do also want to take the time to mention that the following live stream footage of Honey, I Joined a Cult is an early access version of the game. Therefore, the footage you see may or may not be featured in the final version of the game. Also, there may be some noticeable bugs in the game, and I do want to take the time to thank Team 17 for providing me with a free copy of Honey, I Joined a Cult to play on tonight's stream. So let's go ahead and jump into this, because I've been playing this one offline, so we're just going to continue with the cult that I've already started. And the cult's name is the Gatekeepers of Tranquility. And, so this is our compound. This is our compound, and we just had service, but now everyone is sleeping, so we can speed up the time by clicking here. We have a mission that we can do. Okay, that works. Probably send a couple of people out on that. Mood. Their mood is great. I have to do something to, like, boost up the moods. Alright, we're gonna slow this down. Because ideally, like, where these are broken, I'm supposed to be able to fix them. We're gonna assign a gatekeeper. We're gonna have Amy, and I think the other one that's really good is Joseph. So we'll send them out to do this mission. But that means we need somebody to do the fixing. We will click on our gatekeepers here. I think her job is to be a maintenance technician. When she's not prioritizing, because apparently I'm supposed to be able to, like, fix these. And this was something that I was having issues with. A gatekeeper was injured. No! Okay, have to send you to the hospital so you can get better. Send them to the hospital. What are they doing? I guess they were trying to debate on if they wanted to sleep or use the bathroom? Like, what is going on here? I have soiled myself. What? That's because you didn't know whether if you were gonna go to the bathroom or, like, what? That's nasty. Like, that's just nasty. Like, soiling. Uh-oh, one of your gatekeepers has had an accident. Gatekeepers don't generally like soiling themselves. Soil tiles will also lower the prestige of a room. Okay, so... like, is she not gonna clean that up? Wait, what? How much money would it take to make you spend a night in the cemetery? What? Okay, why is this gatekeeper trying to leave? Okay, because he wants to leave, but why? Why are you unhappy, Luke? Okay, because ideally I'm supposed to be able to click on him. And if I right click on this and that, you're supposed to fix it. But for some odd reason, right clicking on it is not working. Like, I don't know why this isn't working. Because they teach you this in the tutorial. Like, if there's a maintenance person, you click on them, and you're supposed to right-click on here. And then they fix it. Okay, now it seems like they're fixing it. But they weren't doing that before. Which is weird. We've completed our mission, so turn that in. I wonder if that got us a little bit of money. We did not get a lot of money from that. Our research. We now have a recruitment office, so we can build a recruitment office. Another gatekeeper was injured. Send them to the hospital. Okay. I'm gonna build my recruitment office here. If it'll let me. We're gonna build our office here. Mood breaks. Wait, what? Is that legit like a thing? Okay. One of your gatekeepers is experiencing a mood break. This occurs when their mood gets too low. During a mood break, gatekeepers will act irrationally, wandering the streets, breaking objects, and even sometimes attacking other gatekeepers. Make sure you look after their needs and they will stay happy. Okay. Let's pause this for a minute. Okay, so what do you need to be happy? Like... they're bored. Okay, so I need to add more. I mean, but I don't have a lot of money. I am not the one that has lots of money. Maybe do that. Maybe do another recreational room? Like, I'm not sure. Okay, and then... I don't know if we have a lot of money for this, but... we don't. That happened. Okay. Let's go to objects. Room specific, right? And then I need... we're gonna have to do that. We have no money. Yay. I don't have all of the things in here to do this. We have no money. We're gonna have to hopefully start getting late money from here. So we can research. Let's research mood boosting. Do we have a, we do. Slow this down. Or is it this one that I need for them to fix? Okay, so they get to level up. I'm going to do social and empathy. Objects for a specific room. See if we can do that, and then I need one more. I need to get 400 to put in the whiteboard. Yeah, hopefully it's weird because you're supposed to be able to send the maintenance person in there to fix that type of stuff, but for some odd reason it doesn't. If you click on it, and you're supposed to be able to right click, but when I right click it, or maybe it does and I'm just not seeing it. That could be what's happening. Maybe come fix this? Yeah. Okay, it looks like that's how it works. Okay. Click on here, see room. Grab the whiteboard, and now that room's together. We need somebody to become a recruiter. But we're not making a lot of money. That is our issue here. We're not making a lot of money. Like, that has become our issue. We are not making enough money. Who's injured now? Are you the injured one? Let me see. Like, I thought I sent them to the hospital. But I think it's almost time for prayer, so... we will do this. Alrighty. And then I think I'm gonna pause this. And we're gonna save it. Because I do have an earlier day that I can go back to where we had a little bit of more money, but we will save. And we will quit to the main menu because that was Honey, I Joined a Cult. And again, it is in early access. It is available on PC through Steam, Humble Bundle, and Fanatical. Of course, if you like what you saw, you can click on the link here, and that will take you to a Google Doc of all of the games that I've played this week or am playing this week, their price, and if there is a price, their platforms, and a link to get to said platforms. Of course, I do want to take the time to mention that even if you cannot purchase the game, please go ahead and wishlist the game. Wishlisting the game does help the developers out a lot. When you wishlist a game, it can help the game end up in people's recommendations. With enough wishlist sales and reviews, it can help it to end up in the new and noteworthy section on Steam, and sometimes even the front page of Steam. So when in doubt, wishlist it out. And a very big thank you to, again, Team 17 for providing me with a free copy of the game to play on tonight's stream. Alrighty, so we have 2 more games that we're going to be playing. And that is going to be, our next game is going to be Seed of Life. And then after that, we have Inked A Tale of Love, and then that will call stream for this evening. While I switch over our game category, I do want to take the time to mention that tomorrow night will be Free to Play Friday, in which we are going to be looking, and we're going to be doing the spoofy edition, or spooky or spoofy edition of that tomorrow. So we're going to be taking a look at 4 kind of Halloweenish type games. That's going to be Calibra, as well as Project H, Last Message, and Lycanthorn are the games we will be playing tomorrow. And all of those games are free to play or free demos. So that's what we will be doing tomorrow evening. But let us go ahead and move into our next game, which is Seed of Life. And get this show on the road. Oh, that was really loud in my ears. See if I can turn this down a bit. Should not be that loud. And so our next game on the card is Seed of Life. And Seed of Life is available on PC for $24.99 USD, and you can pick this up through Steam. I do want to take this time to thank the publishers and developer of Seed of Life for providing me with a free copy of the game to play on tonight's stream. So let's go ahead. We're going to check out the settings real quick to see if I can adjust anything in the visuals. I want to turn off motion blur because I'm going to turn that off. We'll keep that on. I'm going to turn that off and probably turn that off. Okay. Because there's motion blur in this, and sometimes that can, like, make or break a game. We are going to play this in the normal state. And yes, we're going to start it from the beginning because I did an indie game moment of it and I had to skip a lot of the story. Just want to point out that this does have full voice acting. So there's going to be times where the game is talking. When the game is talking, I will be quiet. And we'll come back when the game is not talking so that everyone can enjoy. So apparently this part does not have talking, but the game itself does. It has the power to build worlds and to destroy them. Around it, there will always be life and all of its complexity. Our beloved world, Lumina, is nearing its destruction. It needs Lumium. The seed is our only chance.
Our sun is dying, and soon, Lumia will fall into darkness. The last spark of life will be forever lost. I was a baby when it happened. The world's been dead ever since I can remember. Maybe a bit greener when I was younger. And some flowers. I love flowers. My grandfather tells me stories. They always sound like a dream. I wish I could be in that dream. But they came, and they took everything. Why? What did we do to deserve this? We call them Nemorians, and they brought chaos and death into our world. Now, we slowly die, without hope, without a future. This can't be the end. I will not fall into darkness and wait for everything to disappear. There must be a way. We have to escape somehow. We live in this small house. It's the only home I've ever known. Grandpa doesn't tell me things. He believes I'm too young. But I saw it. The seed exists. Only it can bring back life and make the world flow once again. I sit here every day. I can't watch these candles burn anymore. Their flames get smaller, and so does my soul. I need to find the seed. I need to go.
Very interesting story. This game is really pretty. Like, it's really, really pretty. I will say that the voice acting for the character.
I need to find out where the seed is located. When I was little, Grandpa took me to see it. We were far away, and I only remember a vague silhouette surrounded by lots of water. One more book to read. At least something to help me remember. This one talks about some kind of ancient race that used to harvest lumium, the source of all life. Grandpa was obsessed with this kind of thing. Wait, what's this? Some kind of note? The seed is empty and it needs a vessel of light. I need to go there and rekindle it if Lumia is to survive. I had no choice. There is no more time. And Cora, my beloved granddaughter, if I don't see you again, know that I'm doing this for you and Lumia. I love you with all my heart. Grandpa wants to reignite the seed? No! There has to be another way. I have to find it.
As I was saying, the voice acting in this, to me, is a little unnerving. Like, I'm not a fan of the voice acting for Cora, as we just found out her name is Cora.
Grandpa must have left me this book to help me understand Lumia better. I've never seen it before. Seems like it has detailed information about the seed and Lumium plants. I remember Oren telling me how the plants are able to absorb Lumium from the ground and store it. I wish I had more time to read it. I often saw Grandpa use this strange object to maintain the alien technology around the house. I'll take it with me, just in case. Oh, and there's the key. Okay, I'm ready to leave the house now.
Okay, let's see what else. There's gotta be other stuff, though.
This used to be my favorite
Oh,
spot when I
goodness.
was younger. Grandpa told me so many stories and taught me so much over the years. I really miss those days. Can't go there.
Okay. Like, I don't know, it's just the voice acting is a little...
I'm not hungry now, and I need to reach the seed as soon as possible.
Is a little, like... I get it's supposed to be like a young girl, but it just seems monotone to me.
The sun is weakening, and every day it's getting darker. I shouldn't waste too much time around the house. There isn't much to see on this side of the river, apart from the nearby pedestal. If I want to reach the seed, I must cross the river.
Okay. Here's some more lights, it look like. I have a feeling that's going to be an achievement.
The water is corrupted. If I try to go in, I'll be dead in no time. I need to find another way to cross the river.
Okay. It's over here. Oh,
This
man.
pedestal is the last beacon of light in this area. Without it, we wouldn't have survived for so long. We're lucky it still has a lumium pool.
Okay, so we reached the checkpoint. What's this?
This object on the wall seems to hold a petal. What if... the object is reacting. I can take it. I tried so many times to do this. The shield has weakened, but it's still holding. There must be another petal nearby.
Okay. I think it's an LB to show the glossary. No, maybe not. Okay. Well, we're not going that way, Cora. There was one in there. Oh, okay.
We used to gather water from this part of the river. Well, at least before the corruption started to pollute everything. Now the water is poisonous.
See, I knew that was gonna be a... I knew that would be like an achievement. Oh, can't go that way. We can't go down through there. We already took the petal from here. Can't go that way. So I wonder if we go back by the house, if it may be another petal over there. I'm gonna try. Like I said, the game is beautiful. The voice acting puts me off just a tad bit. It's probably my only thing I would have, you know, with the game. I don't think we can go in there. Okay, the camera was a little rough. There's the other pedal. Looks like it kind of weakened completely.
The shield is gone.
Okay.
Wow. Even with all the darkness, this view never ceased to amaze me. As Grandpa always said, beauty can be broken, but it cannot be forgotten.
Okay. And then make sure it's nothing over here that I need to. Nope, not this way. Okay. Can we go this way? Yeah, it looks like we can. Okay. So now we go back to where we were and head out, I guess. Wait. Because, I mean, okay, I guess we can't grab that one. I'm like, wait a minute. Checkpoint reached, what? Checkpoint. Okay. But we know the shield was brought down, so now we should be able to push forward. Uh-oh.
I used to come here often, looking across the huge canyon and wondering what's on the other side. These strange platforms seem to reach it, but I'm unable to use them.
Right.
Maybe I'm missing something.
Okay. Is there something here? No. So, can't go that way. I'm gonna go back out here. Because we already came up this way. We opened that. And she's like, yeah, the shields are gone. And we came back this way, which I think just took us back around to the back of the house. Okay, let's see what's up through here.
Seems like the road is clear. From now on, I need to be careful and watch my surroundings.
Okay. So we made it across the river. See if we can make it to another checkpoint.
Nemorian ships in the sky. It looks like they're leaving. No reason to panic. The last ship I saw left years ago. Something must have happened. That one is passing really close.
Uh-oh.
Wait, something happened. I think a small drone was released from it. I better go and investigate. I hope it's not dangerous.
Then why are you going to investigate? Okay. Let us see. And if I get to another checkpoint, we will stop the game there, because I do have one more game that I have to play. Normally I stream from 11 to about 12:30, but I started a little late, so. Oh, here's our next checkpoint, it looks like. So we'll go here. There's our checkpoint.
Another pedestal.
Uh-oh.
To activate it, I have to align the circles and insert the missing petals. Wait a minute.
Yo, not come, Ed. He's safe, glad, not time.
What was that? The pedestal is trying to tell me something?
Alright. And so, again, that was Seed of Life. It is available on PC through Steam, and it is going for $24.99 USD. And again, I do want to take the time to thank the developer and publisher of Seed of Life for providing me with a free copy of the game to play on tonight's stream. Alrighty, so we are going to switch to our last game and probably play this one for about 15 minutes or so. Depends on how far I get into it, because I do have to get ready to get in bed soon. But I'm going to switch over to our last game on the card, and that is Inked, A Tale of Love. And of course, again, if there were any of the games that you enjoyed tonight, again, clicking on this link will allow for you to see all the games I've played this week, the platforms they're available on, the price if there is a price, and again gives you the link to get to the game on the platform of your choice. So it does all the legwork for you. Also, if there were games that you wanted to see but you didn't get a chance to see, you can check out the VODs on my website, which is ReadySetIndieGames.com, or on my YouTube channel, which is also also ReadySetIndieGames, sorry. But those are the two ways you can catch up on VODs. I typically upload the VODs a day later. So usually these will be up after stream, usually, but I usually take a day to upload them. So if they interest you, or if you're interested in any games or you missed any of the games, you can definitely always catch the VODs. So without further ado, let's get into our last game, which is Inked, A Tale of Love. And so our last game for the evening is Inked. Tale of Love is what it originally was called, but now it's just called Inked. And Inked is available on PC, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, and it is going for $9.99 USD. Now, I would like to also take this time to thank the publishers and developer of Inked for providing me with a free copy of the game to play on tonight's stream. I'm going to see if we can kind of restart this, because I totally forgot how to play. But if we can't... Oh, well, there it is. Okay. So I don't need to restart. We're going to continue, or we can do... Yeah, we'll do it this way. We'll start from the preload. I didn't get that far in the game. But the one thing about this game now...
At the beginning of every story, we meet the hero. But this one has no name. He left it behind him. The nameless hero focused on the final part of his training.
Now, the cool thing about this is that this is actually all hand-drawn with pen. So that was the cool thing. Is what I was trying to say before I just remembered from the game that it has voice acting in it, or a narrator in it.
The land was peaceful now, and the nameless hero has left the sword behind him.
Like, when I first came across Ink, I came across it during the Indie Arena booth last month, and I reached out to do coverage for it, and they actually provided me a key. And I thought this game was gorgeous when I seen it. Like, really gorgeous. Because you usually see, like, pencil-drawn games, but not anything with a pen. Wow, this is so pretty.
The hero's deer, Aiko, painted the spring of life, a vibrant sight of plants and fish jumping around. It was always a well of inspiration for her.
Adorable. Oh, okay. That was... Press the redraw button to enter the redraw mode. Oh no, I think the game froze. Oh. This might be beneficial then to play on... Play with keyboard and mouse then. Maybe. Yeah, I don't have my sword, I'm sorry. I kinda left it. So yeah, this might be you could play it with controller, but it may be beneficial to play it with keyboard and mouse. We'll see. Nice. Teamwork. Aww. Looked like she drew a koi fish.
Having helped the tiny bird, the couple started making their way back home.
Wait, what? Indiana Crones with the raid. Welcome on in, Raiders and Indiana Crones. Welcome on into the stream. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. I am Ready Set. And on my channel, I predominantly cover indie games. So 98% of the time, you will see indie games on my channel. And I typically stream Wednesdays from 10 a.m. EST and Thursdays and Fridays from 11 p.m. EST. So I hope you all are having a fantastic evening. If I could get a shout out for Indiana, and I may have to do this So give me 1 second. I'm gonna get your shout out there to see what you were up to in stream today. Or this evening, rather. That happened. Try that again. Because I spelled that all wrong. I spelled that all wrong. Let's try that again. Oh, playing Fall Guys. Okay. We're going to continue. I'm thinking we're gonna go this way. Yeah. Then go that way. Like, I haven't seen, like, I didn't know Fall Guys was still a pretty big thing, but I know they have, like, a new season. But we are currently playing Inked Tale of Love, or Inked as it's called now, and this is available on PC, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, and it is going for the lovely price of $9.99. Of course, if you like what you see of the game, you can always click the link here, and that will take you to a list of all of the games that I've played tonight, as well as the games that I've played for the entire week, the platforms they're available on, the price if there's a price, and again gives you the link to get to the games of your choice. So I'm going to just play this with probably keyboard and mouse because it makes it simpler. At least for PC, it makes it simple. Looks like there's another one of her paintings here.
It was a pretty day, and they decided to stay outside a while longer. Suddenly, a bird with a broken wing appeared.
Oh no!
Who could have done this, they wondered.
Did she just like pull out an umbrella and just like...
Aiko urged the hero to open the portal. They had to find out what evil befell their feathery friends.
Okay. And again, this game is actually hand-drawn, which is pretty cool. So now we are in Chapter 1.
The cool breeze of the sea made the hero shiver. It reminded him that the world beyond their home is vast and decayed.
Okay. Wait, what's this? Oh, okay. So it has like little paintings that you can find.
Aiko asked the hero to hurry because a long journey was ahead of them. The nests were on top of a tower, across the sea and the rivers, beyond the forest.
Okay.
It will be a great challenge for the retired warrior.
Nice. There's another one of those. There's one there. So wait, what's... Doesn't seem like that's important at the moment. Okay. Or is it? Like, what if it is important? Like, what if I need this and I don't know that I need this, you know? Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, what if it is important and I'm like, I don't know that I need it? See if we can get it over here. I was gonna say, I'm not sure how to... You know what? Now I see what I probably need to do. Put it here. So that then I can run over there. Okay. Cool. While redrawing, press the right mouse button to rotate. Okay. Ah. Am I gonna have to pull this over to get over there? I might have to. Let's see. Yep. We're gonna redraw. Go up here.
The pair worked well together. They will need each other if they want to reach the bird nests.
Okay. Again, gotta use this. Wait, there weren't any of those paintings back there, was it? I need to know. Yep, there's one there. I was gonna say, did I miss the paintings? We got 5 out of 9. Alright. Okay. Right, drag and drop to redraw. Okay. Oh no, stop. Oh, okay, I get it. I need to go put that over there. I was gonna say, wait, what? What am I doing? But now I see what I need to do. And then put that there. That's gonna roll in there and that's gonna open this. Got it. Would you put that back? I don't know if we need that, sir. Very gorgeous game, and I love the puzzles in this. I'm looking, I don't see any...
They
Oh,
marveled
there it
at
is.
the serene world the artist drew for them.
See another birdie canvas. You have to keep an eye out for those. There's 9 of them in this level. Okay. Maybe, okay, go that way. We're gonna have them go there. Turn. And then do this. Nice. Bring that here. Grab that. Turn. And go here. I'm like, I didn't see any more of the bird paintings there, so... Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe put that there and see if that works. I think it's gonna drop a ball. It does. Haha. Do that. Now do this. Or maybe do this. And once it starts to roll, do that. Nailed it. And it looks like this is the end of chapter 1.
Against all odds, the pair succeeded and pushed onward.
I missed a couple of the little paintings, though. Chapter 2. Alrighty. So we are gonna stop the gameplay there, but again, that was Inked, and Ink is available on PC through Steam, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. It is going for $9.99 USD. Now, again, if you like what you saw of Inked, you can pick this up by clicking on the link there, and that will take you to the Google Doc, again, of all the games that I'm playing this week, where those games can be found, what platforms they're on, and the price, if there are prices for them. Again, even if you cannot purchase a game at the moment, please go ahead and wishlist it if you're able to wishlist. Wishlisting does help the developers out a lot. It allows for their games to end up in others' recommendations. With enough sales, wish lists, and reviews, it can end up in the new and noteworthy section or the front page of Steam. So when in doubt, go ahead and take the time to wish list it out. And again, a very, very big thank you to the developers and publishers of Inked for providing me with a free copy of the game to play on tonight's stream. Alrighty, so that is actually going to take us out of our stream for tonight, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank Cool Cat Terry as well as Indiana Crones for the raids. I do appreciate you both. Tomorrow is going to be Free to Play Friday, and that means basically we're going to be taking a look at games that are free to play, be it a free to play demo or actual games that are, again, free to play. And so tomorrow we're going to be taking a look at Calibra, Souls of Limbo, which is a demo. Then we're going to take a look at Project H, Last Message, and Lycanthorn. Those are all, the last three are all full games that are free to play that are available on Steam. So just in case you haven't wondered, tomorrow is going to be a spoofy/spooky stream. And then that is what's going to be going for tomorrow. And then I don't have my schedule completely done for next week. Like I said, if you follow me on Twitter, you may have known that I had a job interview today, and I have to do my second interview. Or I had a job interview yesterday, and I get to do my second interview today. And depending on what goes on with that, I may have to adjust my streaming again. So, but if not, the next time I would be back on after tomorrow would be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I do plan on doing Steam coverage for Steam Next Fest. So, again, we are going to be playing it by ear to see what's going on. But I'm going to look and see if there is anyone that I can host. For if there is no one that I'm currently following that's online, then I tend to do what I like to do is put on one of the 24-hour channels I tend to watch. So let me just see if there's anyone on that I actually, follow. Looking to see. Okay, well, not too many people on that are doing indie. But there is this speedrunner that I do enjoy watching. Or it is Thursday, or was Thursday, so I could always do one of the 24. You know what? I would host someone, but because I am a little on the tired side, and I don't know if I'll be able to hang out, I don't know if I should host anybody. Because I'm looking and I'm not seeing anyone who plays indie games on at the moment. So I think I will just let you all have some nice, cool, chill hop type music. So that's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and host the chill hop channel. But again, thank you all for tuning into tonight's stream. You all have been amazing. And this is Ready Set Indie Games. I am Ready Set. Please be safe and keep gaming.